Okay, with this information that we've learned, okay, I want to use this to actually implement this method. So this is what I want you to do. I'm going to go to the StockDAO and I'm going to tell it here. If I move my mouse here, I think if I go to source, actually, let's go to source. And if I go to this section here where it says override implement method, it'll give me an option to go into my ancestor and say, hey, what do I want to go after? And this is the one I want to go after, is the find by method. And click on OK. And now I have access to the find by method. Now, the find by method is going to have almost everything this have and just a little bit more logic. So I'm going to do here, Control C, grab this guy, and do Control V. So this is going to do the exact same thing. Okay. Now, what I want to do now is with this knowledge, I'm going to go here to the controller. Where's my controller? And in my controller, instead of using the find, this right here, I want to say here find by map here. I'll tell it to create this variable, create local variable. I create it there, right there. And then I'm going to say here new hash map. Import. Let's do a save here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hard code a value for now. Let's just run this to see if it still works. It should still work because I basically copied all the code that was here to here. So if I run this, okay, click on search, it still works. Okay, but now this is using the find by method. Now, what I want to do here is I'm going to hard code something just to see if it works with the logic that we're going to do. In fact, let's not even hard code it. Let's get a value from the controller. I'm going to say here in the map, I'm going to say here string symbol. That symbol will come from the text field. Get text, save it, and we're going to say here map put symbol, the word symbol, comma, and I'm going to say here EQ to mean equal. That'll be our logic that we're going to use, plus the variable symbol. Save it. Okay. Well, let's run this again. It should do nothing. It should do almost the exact same thing. Click on search. Does the exact same thing. I want to search for IBM 01 and see if we can get that to work. So let's go back to the StockDAO. And we're going to search for the map. We're going to say here first map. First, let's check to make sure that the key exists. So we can say here map contains key. That way we check to see if it exists. If it exists, it's going to return a true. And that means we're going to do a certain amount of logic. Okay. So that means I'm going to say here string symbol is equal to map get symbol Okay. In fact, I'll call this symbol search. I'm going to call that. So if you remember in the code, what I'm doing here in the code in the stock controller, I'm passing a I'm passing EQ in front of it to indicate that I'm doing equal. So let's go back here into the stock again, the StockDAO. And just like we did in the J shell, I'm going to tell it to, I'm going to say string here, in parts. I'm going to say string parts is equal to map dot, I'm sorry, not map, symbol search, and we're going to split it up by this right here. Now remember, the first part of this will contain a value of EQ. So if I do here, let's do a sys out so we can see it. And I'm going to use arrays to string to print out the parts. Let's save it and let's run it so you can see what it's doing. So if I type in here IBM-1, click on search, and notice what it's printing out is that I'm valuing EQ and IBM1. That value came from up here. If I'm searching for IBM2, EQ came here. All right, so we'll continue this logic on the next video to actually make this work.